So you're out and about wanting to do some errands. You arrive at your destination, and before going inside, you want to take off your helmet. But it's a chore because you have a double D-ring helmet. First, you got to take off your gloves. Actually, no, ain't nobody got time for all that. Save time. Remove the helmet with the gloves on. So see, do what you gotta do, finish your errand, come back, and of course you're gonna put your helmet back on again. I'm going to put this helmet right back on, still with my gloves on. When I go places around town, I want to be able to quickly and easily take off my double D-ring helmet with the least amount of fuss. If you want to know the best and fastest way to put on and take off a double D-ring helmet, stay tuned. You're in the right place. When I first started out riding, I had a helmet like this with what's called a micrometric closure system. You may also hear these kinds of systems referred to as quick release or a ratchet system. This is all you need to do to put on a micrometric helmet. It's way easier than putting on and taking off a D-ring helmet. This is how you put on a D-ring helmet. Take the strap with your right hand and push it through the two rings. Separate the two rings and then fold back the strap and push it back through the second ring like this. At this point, you can tighten by pulling on the strap. It should not be loose, but snug, fairly snug. Snap the extra part of the strap in place like this so it won't be flying all around while you ride. To loosen, unsnap the strap from the side. Pull the red tab with one hand and pull down the strap with the other hand until the strap is loose. Refeed back the strap through the double D-rings. Here's another view. Now, here is the fast way to put it on. First, without gloves. You have to fasten the D-ring the regular way the first time. For the future, you will always have this little bit of strap connected. Now, let's say you want to remove your helmet. To take off the helmet, pull the red tab with one hand and pull down on the strap with the other hand until loose. But this time, pull the strap forward to the front of the helmet like this, and then simply lift off the helmet. No need to undo the strap completely, as pulling the strap forward toward the chin creates a large enough space for you to still slip your head through. Now, to put it back on for the future and any time else that you're going to go out for a ride, grab the helmet with your hands on the side like this. Make sure the chin strap is pushed forward on the helmet, and then slip the helmet on. Pull the strap since it's already been fed through. Now, fold the strap to snap it in place. With gloves on, it's a bit trickier, but totally doable with some practice. You may have to practice snapping the strap on, but with time, you'll get used to it. Taking it off is still very easy. Yes, it does take a bit longer with gloves on in general, but also you avoid the time it takes to take off and put back on your gloves. So last year, I decided to upgrade my helmet, and I found the helmet that I really wanted, which was this Arai XD5. It comes with a peak, and I just happen to have it removed. And I've had this helmet for several months now. And so I plan on reviewing this Arai XD5, which is an adventure style helmet. And if that would happen to interest you, if you would do me a favor and subscribe to the channel so you'll get a notification whenever the video is released. One part of this helmet that was disappointing to me is when I found out that it used a double D-ring style closure, because I was very used to the quick release micrometric style helmet closures. I was at a loss, like, what am I supposed to do? You know, I'm used to being able to click, on and off. And when I saw what it took to close a D-ring helmet, I was just like, there's no way, how am I gonna go around town, do errands or whatever I need to do? And every time you have to go through that whole rigmarole of attaching, of threading and unthreading a D-ring helmet. But I found that hack that I showed you earlier. I had such a relief because it made having a double D-ring style closure much more doable to me. I mean, it's not gonna be as fast as a micrometric helmet, but there are some advantages of actually having the double D-ring style helmet over the micrometric style. Now, yes, it is true that micrometric closures on helmets do pass rigorous ECE 2206 helmet safety standards. However, the micrometric system has just more parts involved to it. So like the lever, the spring, the ratchet. And so with more components, that's more that can go wrong. Another advantage of the D-ring helmet is that you can tighten it very exactly because it's just a strap and you pull it to exactly what you want. Whereas with a micrometric helmet, if you look at the little metal piece that you see here, you can see that there's like these little notches. So you can only kind of tighten it at these like notch intervals. Plus, if you gain weight or lose weight, the overall strap may need to be adjusted, and people don't really think to do that as often as just to click the little metal tab in. Whereas with the D-ring helmet, you don't really have to worry worry about it. You just pull it every single time. You can get the exact fit that you need. No matter which type of helmet system that you end up using, make sure you tighten it snugly on your head, because you wouldn't want something like this to happen. One thing to note about D-ring helmets is that either all or almost all major motorcycle racing organizations require helmets that have a D-ring type closure. So you might ask, why would that be? Because if micrometrics can pass, ECE 2206 and other rigorous standards, why would they insist on a double D-ring style closure? Well, for one, when you're going at those kind of high speeds, you just can't afford any kind of failure whatsoever. And with the simplicity of the D-ring, you pretty much have a strap and a couple pieces of metal here. There's not as much that can go wrong. I guess these racing organizations just feel like with less to be able to go wrong, they would consider it safer for their racers. And I think that should say something right there, the simplicity of the design and the kind of foolproofness of the design. Like I said, for the most part, micrometrics prove to do just as well overall. I mean, there are a few caveats, as long as, something doesn't happen to the mechanism or any of the components. I mean, it should perform just as well and under the vast majority of accidents. One thing I did notice is that a lot of certain higher end helmets, it tends to be more common to have D-ring style closures on them. If you do upgrade your helmet, and you're using a micrometric, you may end up in the future being forced to essentially go to a D-ring style helmet. So it's good to know both styles of closures and know how to deal with them. I am comfortable using whether a micrometric or a double D-ring style closure. And now you know how to do that too. So until next time, stay safe, make sure your helmet is on nice and snug, and keep the rubber side down.